Look at the tree trunk on the left and compare it to the potato, the sliced onion, and the cactus spine on the right. They look completely different. But if we strip away the surface textures and look at their underlying geometric structure, they share the same architecture. Correctly identifying these parts becomes difficult when a plant structure is buried underground and swollen with food, or when it has taken the form of a defensive weapon. To accurately identify a stem, you must find these specific anatomical markers: nodes, internodes, axillary buds, and scale leaves. No matter how much a stem is modified to fit its environment, these four features remain present. Because roots lack these specific structural markers, checking for this nodal architecture is an effective way to spot the difference between a specialized stem and a root during a morphology exam. We can track these adaptations through three main branches, starting with the underground modifications. These stems reside beneath the soil to store food and ensure perennation, which is surviving through harsh seasons. There are four main categories to know. The first two are the rhizome and the corm. This ginger rhizome grows horizontally beneath the soil, with visible nodes and scaly leaves. In contrast, the amorphophallus corm grows as a massive, vertical, and nearly spherical structure. Next is the stem tuber, with the potato being the most common example. If we look closely at an eye of the potato, we find an axillary bud tucked inside a nodal depression. Finally, there is the bulb. In this sliced onion, the layers we eat are actually fleshy scale leaves. The true stem is limited to the tiny, highly condensed disc at the very base of the plant. While these structures are buried and swollen with food, the presence of nodes and buds prove they are stems rather than roots. The second branch covers subaerial modifications. These occur in plants with weak stems that creep along the surface or just below it to rapidly clone themselves through vegetative propagation. A runner, such as oxalis, creeps flat along the soil and roots at every node it touches. A stolon, like jasmine, arches upward into the air before bending back down to strike the ground and sprout new roots. A sucker starts below ground and grows diagonally upward to form a new leafy shoot. On the water, plants like Eichhornia use an offset. It acts like a runner, but utilizes short, thick internodes to produce rosettes of leaves on the water's surface. Let's test your visual recognition. Can you identify the specific modification type for these three plants? You have 5 seconds. These are the tuber, the offset, and the sucker. The specific environment, whether it's solid earth or open water, dictates which mechanical strategy the plant uses to spread. The final branch includes aerial modifications. Here, stems above ground adapt to provide climbing support, physical defense, or even primary photosynthesis. Tendrils serve as coiled climbing springs. For exam purposes, note their origin. Grapevines modify their terminal buds into tendrils, while passion flowers modify their axillary buds. Identifying defensive structures requires looking at their anatomy. A thorn has deep vascular connections to the stem. A spine is actually modified leaf tissue, and a prickle is a superficial epidermal outgrowth with no deep vascular connection. In arid environments where normal leaves lose too much water, the stem often flattens and turns green to take over photosynthesis while preventing water loss. We distinguish these photosynthetic stems by counting their segments. An opuntia stem has multiple internodes and is called a filiclade. An asparagus stem has only a single sickle-shaped internode, classifying it as a cladode. Aerial modifications transform the stem from a simple support structure into a specialized tool for survival in specific environments. Let's link the examples in column A to their correct modification categories in column B. A morphophallus is a massive underground sphere connecting to corm. Eichhornia is aquatic, matching with offset. Asparagus features a single internode stem, pointing to cladout, and ginger's horizontal growth identifies it as a rhizome. This completed map organizes every modification we've covered, along with the definitive examples frequently found in morphology studies. Consistently checking for nodes, internodes, and buds is the most effective way to navigate morphology questions. If those anatomical markers are present, you are looking at a stem, no matter what it is disguised as.